Let me ask you this: do any of you guys have God in your lives?
Yes. Yes.
All of you. How about you, David?
What was that again?
Do you have God in your life?
Oh yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. Then it's a good place for me to be able to speak from that. From where I came from, I wasn't exactly in the right mentality, as you guys know. I was doing everything bad. And the way that I would be able to perceive things in my life was whatever the worst possible outcome was, the worst possible thing that I could think of or imagine, I would see that right in front of me and trick my mind into trying to switch my mentality so that I was training it to think of the worst possible thing and then try and make it positive. But I was only conditioning myself to think of, bad things instead of displacing that with good things. So if you guys have ever found some sort of cure, some sort of treatment for mental health challenges, where your intention and your perception of what is actually happening between the internal world you have and the external, it contradicts, right? Like with the people that I was involved with, I was too involved in their world that they were pressing onto me so that I wasn't able to live in my world and understand what that looked like. And you do need people to be able to better understand who you are, but you don't want to get too involved in where they're coming from so that you can't see clearly for your own point of view. So that's really why I want to come from a place of truly expressing yourself so you can be understood and be open with that. Because I had to do the exact opposite of everything that I actually was. I've had a pretty tough history. The way that I see it, I came to God because I was in such a bad place. As you guys knew, I guess I had a pornography addiction in a bad way. That's one thing. And when I would see people, then I could kind of see what they were going through, as if I was seeing the image that I wanted to see. My mind was bad, right? And I guess that can happen to some people.
Do you think that stemmed from the your I guess feeling lonely? Do you think that or is that just something that just?
I'm sure some sort of part of it, but like being introduced to something that's negative in your life and using that to feel, yeah, I guess so. I guess you could say that. More so, it became a habit because somebody put that into my life at a very young age, age 11, which is terrible. And, I guess I became used to that. My parents weren't really there to hear me, understand my concerns, or validate me. I had surgery at the age of 13. Surgery was on my testicle, and I didn't exactly have my body in the right place anymore. So I was telling my parents, hey, look, there's a problem here. It needs to be resolved. And they wouldn't hear me. They wouldn't understand that, I'm going through pain. And what ended up happening is after 8 years, there's an entrapped nerve in my body that caused my torso to twist a certain way because I'm trying to avoid the pain as if I'm getting stabbed. Or if something pulls, it's in between your legs, so you can't exactly walk, sit, sleep, or do anything the same way. So my entire left side of my body, as a progression of it, think of taking a spoon and putting a little bit of pressure, jamming it right on a certain sensitive spot where you have all the rotation. And then all the tissue around that kind of calcifies, right? So basically you can think of it like everything tightens up, and then there's another point that calcifies, and everything begins to pull on each other. The scar tissue, the fascia. And because it becomes so tight in multiple parts, it actually pulls your spine out of place because that's connected to everything. So if your central nervous system is not operating in alignment with how your body's supposed to be, you can expect your organs to shut down for you to die. And I'm still dealing with that. That's one of my biggest challenges.